something very deep and powerful about what the role a church plays. And when a deep injury is done to us, we never recover until we forgive. It's another way of saying something that, I was thinking even about Corrie ten Boom. I want to add a little piece to this about her, the ringing the bell. She's also famous for another analogy that I love, and Corrie ten Boom was the one who said that, what does God do with our sins? He takes our sins and he throws them in the sea of forgetfulness, which is a biblical passage, that he takes our sins and he removes them as far as the east is from the west, and he throws them into the sea, translated oftentimes the sea of forgetfulness. And then Corrie ten Boom says, and then he puts up a sign that says, no fishing. That's really cool. That's the same exact concept. You can't go back there fishing for this very thing. But this is hard to do at a human level. Forgiveness, would you agree? Forgiveness is not easy. Forgiveness for some of you, your past, your hurts are influencing your today. And I think we have to be very clear about what forgiveness is and what forgiveness isn't. I will also have this up real quickly on Canvas if you just want to listen right quick. The role that our past plays in our lives today, deep question, is my past shaping me today, and what regrets do I have? This notion then about unforgiveness, when it begins to hinder our relationships with family and with friends, ultimately it's going to have a bearing on our relationship with God, and that is clear. This topic is one of the #1 funded topics by our government in the field of psychology. Our U.S. government, when we look at all of the topics over the last 20 years in the field of psychology, if you write a grant proposal seeking government funding on the topic of forgiveness, you have a better chance of getting it than almost anything else. Forgiveness. Anybody want to take a guess why? Why would that be the case? Why would our U.S. government fund topics on forgiveness?
Society can function without it.
There's something deep about forgiveness that helps a society function. There's something about the very idea, but also it doesn't fund things. It doesn't have a lot of results to it. We start asking people to do something and to start giving and living out in the area of forgiveness, and amazing things happen. Anecdotally or not, I don't know if this is true, and it's just an anecdote, but someone one time said to us when I was a graduate student in psychology that the idea of forgiveness is so deep and powerful that half of the people that are living their lives in a mental institution could go home tomorrow if they knew they were forgiven. Half of the people, it's an anecdote, there's no research on this, could go home tomorrow if they knew they were forgiven. It's a pausing thought. So here's the question you should ask yourself. What is forgiveness? I'll tell you something what forgiveness is not. It's right here. This is not forgiveness. It's not ignoring an injustice. It's not letting someone treat you badly. It's not glossing over the wrongs. Sorry, I don't even have the other part. It's not pretending that things are okay. That is not okay. And I will never forget that.
Pass it on, baby.
The mental image. It's not having amnesia or simply forgetting. Guys, this is put up at the very top. This is what forgiveness is not. It's not just simply, Corrie ten Boom, when Dr. Milhoff said, you stop telling people about it, it's not just simply saying, I'm going to just completely erase this from my mind. It's not pardoning and condoning or excusing what has happened. They're tough things that we all deal with. It's still, it doesn't, by the way, it doesn't mean you now trust the other person. Right? And this isn't a magic trick that you go, I'll forgive them, and now the other person is going to change. Because guess what? They may never change, even if you extend forgiveness. So it's not a magic trick to try and get them to do something. So in light of that, what forgiveness is not, all right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, we're going to need to spend a lot more time with this, and I will unpack some of these things that some research in my field has done to try and back up something. Oh, by the way, most of the people who are doing a lot of this forgiveness research in the field of psychology, a lot of them have a Christian and theistic background as a worldview. Because I think they've captured something that has been lost when people are approaching this from a non-Christian perspective. There's some element to this that is very deep and very powerful, and you have to understand something about forgiveness. So here, real quickly, and then we're going to bring up everybody about what forgiveness is. So at the top, here's what forgiveness is. It is courageous effort. This takes work of letting go of a grudge. It is hard. It requires empathy. You pray for somebody, you're going to need to have feelings that are going to need to change. That's the definition of forgiveness, by the way. It's your behavior, your thoughts, your attitude, your heart, your perspective towards another person must change to be more positive. There has to be this. Because, see, it's an intra-personal event. It's something that happens in your head as well as an interpersonal. And it starts with some of these things. You have to take seriously the awfulness of what has happened when you were treated unfairly. It's healing, not erasing the memory of the harm. And this is essential ultimately to recovery. It's an act of mercy toward the offender. It's giving up control of the angry feelings. And then it's a journey to freedom, and that's what forgiveness is. And that's what forgiveness is. And that's what forgiveness is.